Thank you. Thank you all for joining. Please hit your share button as you join. Hit your share button. Hit your share button as you join. Hit your share button. Today will be a nice day. Today will be a nice program. Hit your share button. Hit the share button as you join. Okay. Hit your share button. Hit your share button as you join the program.
He! Sen! Sen! 你肉好！你是小日，顶级小户，你找嘿！
老师先到我，
我先走了。
Master Lee.
Master pray aku? 你小日。
My students stay waka for you. I say now make you go buy me cola nut. Now you tell me say your students dey finding trouble. Now you come tell your students say shey whether Ogun wan kill you papa. Now your student come beat am.
This one?
Which one beat you?
This one will get bigger.
This one wey get big head dey beat my student. No be me go beat your student. Na my smaller, na him go beat your student.
其實我第四人都不能喂。
Chimwanya!
Yes, Sifu.
You mean wetin you talk?
Just dey watch. E go shock you. Chimwanya!
Yes, Sifu.
If you don dey do that mumu first time, make you pick one better stone, make you lamolori.
But Sifu, what is the meaning of make you lamolori?
See the one we do that. You go pick one big stone, you go wipe am for head, body go tell am. You no even need to dey do plenty time. When you pick stone like this, if you don dey do that first time, wipe am for him head, make you run.
几只手骨头了，骨佛罗猪，听到了？
等一下手等我。
Wipe am stone for head. Chimwanya, come here. You know why he beat you. Let me motivate you. Whenever you look in face, e be like wetin dem use separate the fight. If you don dey do that in style, I don tell you several times. Carry better stone make you wipe am for head. No be wetin I teach you.
几只手哦，你佛经济让这头骨顶倒了，今天谁是倒了？
老师先投手我，你笑我。
Just dey look am make you dey vex. Na smaller. Wetin I talk?
That's smaller.
几只手哦，你只手骨，皮肤是晒过来一把，今天是倒了。
Chimwanya! Oh, you dey give am stick. Chimwanya!
起走啦！
Oh man! I tell you?
你收了，
Make you big stone, make you wipe out on that head.
你洗手了，
早些先到我，
把我攞錢來經已到了，
你小心我，
請問啊，
你洗手過我到了，
the next time when you go comot your stick, make you give am uppercut. For in this place. Esophagus. Oh God.
你要督促我，早些选等着我，
谁是早是早的？
Yes.
你说我，有我，
This one, man. Change that me.
已經成活等大先到貨到咗咯。
Me and you, the quick fight.
而家個底詞幾想到他成語嘛個嘛個。一手啊，哎以前好大，哎呦啊，哎呦啊，几洗手了，
They call am a shoulder.
手吧，
Me I no get time for that nonsense. So you dey see person wey teach me.
洗手。
Thank you for watching. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome. Today we have our heroes like Mola Njoh, Litumbe, like Ambassador Forsung. I want you to listen to some of them because they have a lot of inspiration that they have passed through the struggle and that will inspire you. Okay? You listen to Professor Forsung. He has been one of the prime ministers for the Southern Cameroon. I want you to listen to his speech. This speech was done in 2011 to tell you that this struggle has been there before 2016. Some people say, it was before, that the struggle started in 2016 and most of the things that they know is about 2016, right? But to tell you that the struggle started earlier, I want you to listen to an excerpt from Ambassador Forsung, who has been one of the Prime Minister of Southern Cameroon government. Those people who said no government has not been there, I want you to listen to him and you listen when what he was talking in 2011, how this struggle, what they have been doing, pushing Biya to go to negotiation table and doing whatever they can. But the government of Biya has been so adamant not to listen, not to take to advice, do nothing. So when you see people holding peace plan in 2016, the lawyers, the teachers, the people of Southern Cameroon stood up, know that it has, because when they say Gary don't pass water, okay? When it has reached a level where people cannot get enough. Enough is enough. That's when you see our people at this level now like this. So the sacrifices of our people cannot go in vain. I've seen what has been transpiring from the start of the struggle till now. And somebody will come and tell you that, oh, this thing is going. The struggle of the people, the sacrifice, the blood that has been shed from 2016, the one that was shed in the past, cannot go in vain. Our people will no longer bear it. Okay? Will no longer bear it. Enough is enough. Okay? I've had enough. And this time is a time for no return. Okay.
Fellow Southern Cameroonians, today begins the year 2011, and I seize this opportunity to wish you, and through you, your entire family, a very happy and prosperous new year, 2011. The year 2010, which has just ended, left a deep and delightful footprint on the sands of the Southern Cameroon's history. It is hard to ignore the provocations of our occupiers. President Paul Biya of La République du Cameroon decided to continue to undermine our sovereignty and territorial integrity by coming to our country uninvited to honor the oppression, repression, persecution, arrests, detentions, and illegal imprisonment, extrajudicial killings, and perpetual threats and assassinations by his occupying forces and administration against our armless and defenseless people. It is interesting to note that Mr. Biya, fond of funds, who claimed that Bamenda is his second home, was going there after 20 years of his 28 years in power. The purpose of his so-called Armed Forces Day celebration is a secret to nobody but to Mr. Paul Biya himself. He went there to intimidate Bamenda in particular, and the Southern Cameroons as a whole, because of their resolve to restore their statehood, which they lost through intrigues, fraud, manipulations, and deceit. Mr. Biya therefore decided to intimidate them by his military might. His military maneuvers failed to dissuade our people against their resolve to restore their statehood. What is more wicked and deceitful in this visit, which certain Cameroonians consider as a non-event, is that President Paul Biya spent approximately 11 billion francs CFA, equivalent of 22.9 million US dollars, for this visit alone. This time, he came to give us another bag full of empty promises as usual. This huge sum of money could have been sufficient to build the promised university and the reference hospital. After depriving our people of Bamenda City of a huge thermal generator, a gift of the British government, inaugurated by Prince Charles in 1990, Mr. Biya is not ashamed to promise them a mere replacement of what he took away 20 years ago. Mr. Biya is very insensitive to our feelings. This is why he has made it impossible for the coming into being of a real constitution. All institutions of the state could derive their legitimacy and legal sanctions. That enhances his power as a dictator to make Omar in our territory. Thus, he can decide to take away our legal rights for empty promises. It is incredible that Mr. Biya offered no solutions at all to the problem of jobless youths who, after university education, are still depending on their poor parents for their survival. Fellow citizens, La République's despot does not seem to read the bold handwriting on the wall. Happily, of course, your council has achieved a huge diplomatic breakthrough towards the restoration of our statehood. The United Nations formally and by conduct responded to our June 1st, 1995 petition and its many follow-up correspondences against La République du Cameroon's annexation of our country by its presentation of two framed, separate, distinct maps of La République du Cameroon and our country, the Southern Cameroons, during the 50th anniversary celebration of their independence on May 20th, 2010 in Yaoundé. The UN delegation was led by His Excellency Dr. Ali Abdul Salam Triki, Libya's Minister of Africa.
Thank you. As you can hear from Ambassador Forsung, that was his end of year, his annual speech. Yeah, so Ambassador Forsung has been a very strong proponent to our struggle. So when I hear people talking about some people in this struggle who go to Canada and they are trying to negotiate or whatever what they are doing there, I just laugh because this struggle is ordained by God and the other God of our land. So any one person or two people going to negotiate on the behalf of Southern Cameroon is just a waste of time. Okay, there are people who have given their life. There are people who have given their blood for this thing. So you hear what Ambassador Forsung said. Okay, the Biya regime remain very, very adamant. There's nothing that can come from anything that they are doing than manipulation, trying to corrupt some one or two people that will call, say there's a conference in Canada. Okay, because you cannot leave Swiss-led negotiation and internationally recognized negotiation, right? You abandon it, then you start going to talk about other conferences, right? That is a problem. And how do you square that up? How do you square that up when people are there, they are ready to talk? In Switzerland, there was everything there, the international community recognized it. Then you abandon the Swiss talk and say you're going to Canada. We know that the international community and the United Nations has given us all the green lights, okay? In the different cases in Banjul, in other areas that our people has dragged La République to court for his annexation of our land. So it is not a new thing. That's why we always tell people this thing is not now. This thing has been happening. Our parents, you see, this is Ambassador Forsung saying, okay, It's not new. These are things that our people have fought tooth and nail for it to move. Okay? So when I see people talking about now, then I know that they don't know what they're talking about. If you listen to this, our elder people, this is 2011. He's talking about the restoration of the motherland. So anybody coming now trying to go and negotiate something that will not work, it will not work, because we are talking about two systems. Okay, how do you merge a system that is Anglo-Saxon and a system that is Franco-Saxon? It is very difficult to do that, because when you try to do that, then you are merging two cultures which will not ever blend together. They have tried to do that for many years. You heard Biya himself said that they have tried to annex us. It did not work. They have tried to merge. It did not work. The cultures are really different. It's very difficult. Okay, take a listen to our Pa Mola Njoh Litumbe. He elaborated much about different historical things that we have to learn. These are the facts that we have to know about Southern Cameroon, because whenever we say it, people don't understand. They will say, that one I think. Okay? But these are people who have been fighting for this struggle for a long time. May his soul rest in peace, Mola Njoh Litumbe.
The country you call Southern Cameroon is already sharing legislative, the executive, and the judicial power with La République.
No, I think I may come in and correct you there a little bit. The UN said that in sharing executive power equally, this means that if the country has only one president, that post alternates from one side to the other, because the idea was that even the small territory should taste the sweet honey of independence. Now, therefore, in order to be deemed to be independent, if there was only one president, that position alternated from one side to the other. In the case of legislative equality, if there are few people from the non-self-governing territory, Southern Cameroon, who joined the majority from La République du Cameroun in a federal legislature, the people in Southern Cameroon exercised a veto power on all legislation before it is passed. That gave them equal power in Parliament. For judicial equality, if both sides did not produce an equal number of magistrates throughout the national territory, and there is only one Chief Justice, that post of Chief Justice also alternates from one side to the other.
All right. Now, you have given us the way in for this interview.
Yes.
You have now made it clear that you are fighting for recognition in Cameroon. That is to say, as you have already mentioned, you want these powers, the legislative, the executive, the judiciary, to be shared equally.
That was the arrangement of the United Nations. Yes,
and
for close to 50 years, we haven't tasted any of these
possibility. Can it happen? When you look at Cameroon numerically,
yes,
the Southern Cameroons and La République,
yes,
is it possible that you can shape her equally?
Well, it is a matter of agreement. If La République du Cameroon agreed that they wanted Southern Cameroons to join them in accordance with the provisions of the UN Charter, they didn't have much choice in the matter. It was by agreement. Then the UN says, if you are a member state of the United Nations and you are joining any territory, reduce the terms of joining in writing and file a copy at the Secretariat of the United Nations.
So, Mola, what you are saying now is that if we have 20 ministers in Cameroon, for example, 10 should go for La Republique and 10 for Southern Cameroon?
No, not necessarily. We're talking about the top post, the post of president. That is the post which exercises ultimate authority. That if in one term the president comes from La Republique to Cameroon, the next term around the president should come from Southern Cameroon.
All right, you want a Southern Cameroonian to be the president of this country?
Yes, well, this ought to have been arranged as far back as 49 years ago. Throughout the association so-called with La Republique to Cameroon, we have never tasted executive power.
And that is your struggle now?
Yes. That
you have changed your struggle.
Why?
Initially, yes, you were going for secession, independence of Southern
yeah, let me come in here and talk a little bit about this. That Mola just made mention of certain things that about power sharing, alternative of power sharing. He talked about the legislation, equality on judicial matters. These were the arrangements that were made, when we were joining these people during the federal system. Okay, there was supposed to be that power sharing. There was supposed to be that in terms of the different ministries, how they were supposed to be shared. Okay, it wasn't supposed to be La Republique being president forever. Amba Njoh now 22 years. Biya came in illegally. Biya wasn't supposed to be the president. Amba Njoh illegally handed president to Paul Biya. Okay, so anything that is coming now is illegal because the power sharing was supposed to be between Southern Cameroon and La Republique. Yeah. And that is the arrangement that the United Nations was expecting from this union after they voted for our independence. Okay, that independence vote wasn't an independence vote for us to be consumed by La Republique. No. The United Nations did not, 64 countries did not vote for our independence for us to be consumed by La Republique. They did not do that. Then they couldn't have voted for the independence. Then they would have just said, okay, you go and stay with those people. But they voted for our independence. And I think most of us should understand this, first of all. So when I hear some of these federalists trying to go around, say different stories, they don't know how this thing come about. They don't know nothing. Because you cannot accept your own identity to be taken away. That is what La Republique has been trying to do. If not of this fight that we are fighting, then our identity will not. So the special status they are giving you now is to tell you that you have an identity at least, but that is not what we were. We are a people. We are a country. We are recognized people. So you cannot wipe away our own system, wipe away everything that our identity, everything. Okay? That is the problem with La Republique. You cannot do that. Okay?
Which is constitutional, any constitutional deficiencies. It is at that constructive dialogue that a lot of things will be said. And in that dialogue...
But it doesn't change the fact that you have transformed from independence to recognition in Cameroon.
No,
initially, except that you have been deceiving people. I mean, you of the Southern Cameroon, you've been fighting for independence all along.
Yes, because our rights as a people had never been respected. We came in to share power.
Are you saying? I want us to be clear with this.
Yes.
Are you saying that you changed your position after the ruling of the court?
No. The ruling of the court says that, yes, we find that there is a flaw in the constitutional arrangement. And therefore, the two parties should come together under the auspices of the African Commission in order to see whether they can settle their differences.
So, you are saying that those who are fighting for the independence of Southern Cameroon are on the wrong side of the struggle?
No, they are perfectly entitled to say so, because for 49 years, the terms of joining, as stipulated by the United Nations, have not been observed by La République du Cameroun. So the other party is saying, if you are not going to respect international law and order, then there is no reason for us to be with you.
Meanwhile, you are saying we want to be with you, but recognize us.
No. The people of Southern Cameroon, in the plebiscite of February 1961, voted overwhelmingly to join their brothers in La République du Cameroun. I have not shifted from that position. But the terms of joining were that they were to join in accordance with the provisions set out by the UN Charter. Now, that UN organization stipulates the methodology of joining,
which you've already mentioned.
Yes.
Made it abundantly clear.
Yes.
I have talked to several people who are involved in this struggle.
Yes.
They believe that what we are fighting for is independence.
Yes.
Now, you are saying we want recognition in Cameroon, sharing of power.
Yes.
That's what you said. That's it's clear.
Yes.
Is this not division?
No, it isn't. You see, if people get together, a husband, a man, and a woman, and they sign an agreement that this marriage between us is monogamous, and when the man is made a chief, he says a chief does not just marry one woman, he takes on other women. The wife whom he got in monogamous wedlock has a right to complain. She can go to court and say, my husband has broken the terms of the marriage. If he is prepared to behave the way that we came together originally, I will stay. Now, that is the position.
And that is your position.
That is
your position.
That is the position that if La République du Cameroun were to come tomorrow and say, we are very sorry, we made a mistake in this whole thing. We were to share power, that if the president comes from one side this time, next time he must come from the other side. We are very sorry. We'll say, all right, since you have already pocketed all the three powers over the last 49 years, are you now prepared that Southern Cameroon should exercise those powers for the ensuing 49 years? Because it was a balancing equation.
Okay, that's what you want to dialogue with the government.
Exactly. And if you have a dispute with someone, you don't fight over it. You go to a tribunal, somebody independent who would listen to both sides and then deliver a verdict.
Wow. Have you heard Papa? That is Papa Mola. Papa Mola has said it all. La Republic has taken all powers for the they have brokered all the agreement. They have not in all the agreements. The constitution that was even everything was not followed. For the past, this is almost 60 years to 50 years, 50 to 60 years. So, how can you consume this kind of terms of joining that you want to? How do you forgive or forget this kind of thing? I mean, what La Republic has done to us for the past 60 years, and with these few years, these last 5 years, imagine the killings, the burnings, the the atrocities that they have committed on our people. Some of you just forget so fast that, think of it. Somebody who love you will not do those things to you. Any relationship that is mad with violence, that has that kind of, disagreement, that kind of mistrust, I don't think that is a good relationship. If it's a marriage, please divorce. If you have this kind of relationship, whether you are a married man or you are a boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever, any relationship, whether it's a business, if you have this kind of relationship that Ambazonians are having with La Republique, then that is not a good relationship. You better separate. That is what Mola is saying. Mola has given us all what he said. The constitution was flawed. The agreement was flawed. Everything was flawed. And if everything was flawed, what do you expect? Do you want to take what is flawed and put it in what is flawed? You see the people fighting there. Do you still believe that they can still give you what you want? No. So I just want to play that because that is what is happening, and we have to understand what is going on. I'll play our Professor Anyangwe. He will give us another view of what happened between that period, that before this 2016, and what happened after then. Take a listen.
Decide to colonize other black people that happen to be their neighbors, exactly in the same way as some black people sold their own kind into slavery. It was the late Mr. Justice T.O. Elias, President of the International Court of Justice, who pertinently observed in the Southwest African case that it is a serious indictment on the African continent that some African states, themselves beneficiaries of the right to self-determination, soon became latter-day colonizers of less fortunate peoples in countries that happen to be their neighbors. And that is exactly the situation we are living. So it is not only Morocco pretending to have the territory of the Western Sahara, it is French Cameroon that has been laying claim to the Southern Cameroons. Even as you saw the presentation, Nigeria at one time for 40 years was laying claim to the Southern Cameroons as part of Nigeria. The fact that our anti-colonial struggle is firmly located and situated in international law. Everything we have done is consistent with international law. We've not broken one single word of international law. And we advisedly from the beginning decided that we must stay within the framework of international law. To begin with, you do have the United Nations 1960 binding declaration on the granting of independence to colonial countries and peoples, United Nations General Assembly, Resolution 15 of the 14th December 1960. 5 things I must highlight. It says that the subjection of peoples to alien subjugation, domination, and exploitation constitute a denial of fundamental human rights, is contrary to the Charter of the United Nations, and is an impediment to the promotion of world peace and cooperation. 2, that all peoples have the right to self-determination, and that by virtue of that right, they fully determine their political status and fully pursue their economic, social, and cultural development. 3, that inadequacy of preparation, be it political, economic, social, or educational preparedness, shall never serve as a pretext for delaying independence. 4. That all armed action or repressive measures of all kinds directed against dependent peoples shall cease in order to enable them to exercise peacefully and freely their right to complete independence and the integrity of their national territory, which must be respected. Finally, that immediate steps shall be taken in trust and non-self-governing territories or all other territories which have not attained independence to transfer all powers to the peoples of those territories without any condition or reservation, in accordance with their freely expressed will and desire, in order to enable them to enjoy complete independence and freedom. That's the first thing I want to draw your attention to, provision of the binding United Nations Declaration of 1960. Second thing to draw your attention to, one of the foundational principles of the African Union is the
that is Professor Anyangwe. It's always good. It's always good to listen to, you know. It's always good to listen to these people, because when you listen to them, they know the international law where the La Republic government went wrong. Okay, Professor Anyangwe is elaborating with detail what we have to know in the international community. This is not about something that you just take from somewhere and okay. He has mentioned those points that La Republic has failed to respect. Those are international law. International law must be respected. International boundaries must be respected. And that resolution that he mentioned, okay, the resolution that Professor Anyangwe mentioned, okay, he mentioned that La Republic has put us under subjugation. It's against the international law, okay, of subjugation of any people, domination or exploitation, okay, that constitutes the denial of fundamental human rights. La Republic has not respected that. Look how they kill our people. They have not respected the fundamental human right. The Article 2 talk of that all the peoples have the right to self-determination. Okay? So let nobody tell you that, oh, go and, I hear some people say, oh, that they are negotiating in Canada, they have asked the fighters to go and drop their arms, and that is crap. Okay? The people have the right of self-determination, but that is necessarily include the right freely to determine their political status and freely pursue their economic, social, and cultural development. That is why we are saying that what La Republic is doing is colonization, because they have no right. They have no right to do that. They have no right to control our economic, political, and social status. They have no right. That is why we are saying all these people, the governors, the SGOs, they are colonial administrators. So they are there to act as colonial administrators. That's what we are saying. Okay? So we are saying this, that they are wrong. They have to go back to their land. We can control our economy. We can control our social, cultural, political life. They cannot determine our political status. We have to freely determine that by ourselves. So we are not babies that will come and give us milk. Okay? We are not babies. They should allow us to control our own land. We know our land. We know how to control ourselves. Our parents did that. It's not they that can control us. Okay? The international law stipulate all these things. Okay? That all armed action or repressive measures of all kinds directed against dependent people shall cease. Means that La Republic is the one to cease fire, not us. You cannot come and attack somebody and you ask that person to cease fire. We cannot cease fire because we did not attack La Republic. We are in our land, in our house, in our own place. Somebody come and attack you, then they're asking you to cease fire. Oh my God. Our boys in the bushes, our boys down there cannot drop their arms when La Republic is still in our land. That will never happen. I hear people go to Canada that they are discussing whether they are discussing what they. That's their problem. The boys are there because it's a right, it's a fundamental human right. You hear Professor Anyangwe just mentioned it, right? That immediate steps shall be taken. That is it. Professor Anyangwe just mentioned it. In the United Nations Trust and non-self-governing territories, that all other territories which have not been attained independence, to transfer all power to the people of those territories. La Republic is wrong as Aijo did in 1972 to transform the country to unitary and now to La Republic. It was wrong and wrong. Okay, it was wrong. It was against the international law that instead of immediate steps, those steps that were supposed to be taken was to instead transfer us to full-fledged independence. It was not a step to instead move us towards annexation. That is what we are talking about. So when people are saying that, oh, this and that, then they don't understand what happened, okay? They don't understand what happened. Listen to Professor Anyangwe finish.
Treaty modifying the international boundary of French Cameroon. International boundaries established by treaty are not changed by verbal political statements or by violence for that matter. Long ago, the Stimson Doctrine denied recognition to territorial changes obtained by force, by subterfuge, or other measures contrary to international law. And the United Nations has repeatedly reaffirmed this. And that is why the principle of non-recognition of territories acquired against international law is not a well-established principle under international law. 3, the African Charter on Human and People's Rights recognizes in Article 20, 1, the right of all peoples to existence. 2, the unquestionable and inalienable right of all peoples to self-determination. 3, the right of colonized or oppressed peoples to free themselves from the bonds of domination. And 4, the right of colonized or oppressed people to resort to any means recognized by the international community to free themselves from the bonds of domination. I submit to you that the people of Ambazonia constitute indeed a people within the meaning of international law. And this was reaffirmed by the African Human Rights Commission in his ruling in Kevin Gumni against Republic of Cameroon. That was, I say, reaffirmed, because if you look at United Nations resolution referring to a Southern Cameroons, they always take the trouble, the pain, they always take the trouble, and because to say, they refer to the people of the Southern Cameroon. It's always their people. So the Southern Cameroon was not and has never been a nondescript territory. It's not some virgin land which is just available for anybody to move in and pick. It has a population. It has a people.
Yeah, so you have heard Professor Anyangwe. He has explicitly explained about that issues, and you have heard him clear. You know, he's a professor of international law and international politics, and he has been to this tooth and nail. Remember, he was a professor in Yaoundé University, and he was chased out of Cameroon. He was chased out of La Republique. So he has made some very succinct point that we have been talking here most of the time, okay? The right of self-determination. Let nobody tell you that you don't have a right to defend yourself. Nobody should tell you that nonsense. Because each country is fighting to defend their land. Why not you, people of Southern Cameroon, Ambazonia? You have the right. It's your land. You own it. Like probably come from Yaoundé and come and fight you in your land. So let nobody fool you that, there are people in Canada, they are discussing, I heard one audio there, that there are people in Canada, they are discussing negotiation. What are they discussing? What? They are discussing about how to go. Let's listen. These are what is happening. One NGO that La Republic just created, it's called Bidilum. They say Bidilum NGO. They say they are going around now telling people that they have Canadian flag there on their car. Then they say they are going to heal people, that it's time for peace. Then they say they have Canadian flyers on their vehicle. They say they have spoken with the leaders. The leaders, all those things are fake. Okay? They are all fake. Our people are not fools. Our people are not fools. We cannot fight for 6 years and abandon the fight like that. We don't see the fruit of our labor. No way. La Republic has to go to the drawing board. Yeah, they have to see the handwriting on the wall. You have heard Ambassador Forsung. Ambassador Forsung made mention of that La Republic have not seen the handwriting on the wall. They are still doing what? Okay, take a listen to this guy who is a correspondent there in Bamenda.
Say their position now for heal people for this post-war trauma.
That there are some people there in.
They say their mission, as we understand, say that they deceive people, and then they mostly target the old ones. That they target the vulnerables.
Yes.
They say that they don't solve the issue, and then they out for solve the issue. They be NGO. We'll find out say where these people then be located. They be somewhere for Tarakun or for City Chemist Runabout, that area, as they would call them. They will situate somewhere so they get their office there. So their mission, now for work fool people. They write just big grammars them. They write that big words them for inside flyers. For inside their flyers, they say for the top hand right corner for the flyers, they say they be bidumlem. Yeah, I think so. Call them bidumlem, something of that nature. Where they write them for their top hand flyers. Say they be members them for that group, their organization. It not be clear their mission, but what we will understand and say with all these big concorded or put together words borrowed from.
Wait. Let me come in here. You said they are walking around Bamenda and trying to tell our people that there is peace already, or are they? Because I don't know where an NGO just come that the name is Bidumlep. They are going around telling our people that they are working on peace. They are from Canada. They are doing. Who tell these people that our people are so dull? Like. This is 21st century. How dull are these people? So they think that as they ask some people to go to Canada for a conference, they will come back and fool our people. They are so dull. But you said that they are walking around Bamenda there, fooling people, especially those in our people, giving them 1,000. Oh, my people, how cheap have we become that will give you 1,000? Some people I saw they're giving them 1,000 to go and march. Is that we're not fighting for 1,000. We're not fighting for 5,000. What are they give you? We are fighting for the future of Ambazonia, the future Dubai of Africa. That is what that land is very rich. Don't let nobody fool you with crumbs to abandon your land for them. They have seen the milk and honey in that land. That's why they are killing you people. They have seen the milk and honey in that land. Don't ever let nobody fool you with 1,000. And Bro, wait, go ahead.
From every area, they put them, join them for one small piece of paper, then write Canada for one side. Their mission now for bring peace. Their mission now for food, the old ones them. They cook, even chop. They cook food, they bring them. So they will keep on coming. Though they not be able to raise enough of people or for rally a lot of people. So they will keep on coming all the time with the same messages, with the same flyers. It's a great project. What will see?
I say, they cook chop. The work they give people them. Oh my God. One thing where it made me laugh. Now this thing where this people if you say we're praying for southern zone or northern zone at chop. We have a very good land. That is why if you know we are not in a desert. Our land is so fertile. Anything you put inside that ground, so it come out. Whether na cocoa, whether na plantain, whether na plum, it come out. We have a very fertile land. So if their problem is food, so they're going around giving people food. Southern Cameroon is very blessed. It's a blessed land of milk and honey. Okay, land of milk and honey. We are blessed. So if they come from Yaoundé with food, I don't know the kind of food they are bringing from Yaoundé. Yaoundé does not have food. I've lived in Yaoundé. I went there, I schooled there, I chômé in Yaoundé, chômé camp without a job. After you graduate from university, you stay in Yaoundé there. There's no job for you. So I live in Yaoundé. What we're eating the bobolo and beans. That's the food they have there in Yaoundé. So they're coming to give us food in our area. They should eat small kati. Eh? Yeah, they should instead eat kati, the real food, not those bubble and beans that they eat in Yaoundé there. Eh? Or so that they eat that they thing that they put or ripe banana. That's what they have like plantains or ripe banana. They cook it and put it inside that thing. Mm. They should eat eru, fufu and eru. Come on, eat real eru. Eat the real Southern Cameroon food. Eh? Eat achu. This was really funny. Bro, wait. So they are giving people food and they are going around that they are people from So they think that our people lack the food. They are giving them 1,000. Hey! These people's culture is really the most corrupt culture I've ever seen in my lifetime. These French people. Hey! My God.
It go on. This Bijulem NGO or whatever they call their names, their mission now for target the vulnerable, for they give them 1,000, for the sign papers, for the go, make the cook chop, bring them for the vulnerable, how they care for them, say make them talk for their picking and say make them drop their guns, the war they don't finish things, they don't sign paper, they be go Canada, they don't sign paper, that's why they put a Canadian flag for one corner for that.
Wait, bro. They say they go Canada, they sign paper for Canada. These people are really corrupt. Lucky enough that President Chris and most of the leaders did not go to their nonsense, Canada. They wanted to use that as a ploy to fool our people that they are discussing in Canada. There is nothing there. The real negotiation was going on in Switzerland. La Republique left the negotiation there, and after 1 week, they said they are going to Canada. Ask La Republique, why did they leave the Swiss-led negotiation? A negotiation that Switzerland is a country that all of us know. Switzerland did the negotiation between Sudan and South Sudan. Switzerland. They did even that between Eritrea and Ethiopia. So they are good negotiators. Canada, when we talk to Canada, Canada said no, they are not negotiators, so they are just hosts. They are just hosts for the conference. So what is the benefit? It's the same thing like national dialogue. Because if two people are not talking together, one person is talking among themselves, that's not even dialogue, that is monologue. Because you cannot bring the same thievery and mafia that happened in national dialogue and just move the location to Canada, you say is that you are talking to the people, everything is going back to normal. They should be informed that our people have died. Our people are still in jail. Our refugees are still in Nigeria. Some are in Ghana, some are in all over the world. They should not play with those people's life. We have lost a lot of life. They should not play with that. Nobody's joking when they are going around playing those things. Our people are very serious to get back get what belongs to them. It's not something that belongs to La Republique. We're not begging them what belongs to us. It's our right. They should know that. Yes. My brother. Yeah, go ahead.
Their flyer or piece of paper, so that they try for toxic poverty don't finish. That they form society where they will employ their begin. They will train native broadcaster to, then they said that the train native broadcaster made that they broadcast this information for radio, say the conflict don't be transferred, now peace be the mission then they. So this is what is going on in the back.
I say, wait, until they get flyers, they brandish up. These people are people. I never see people where they thief like these people. They worst thief people them. Now this lot of people them. Very corrupt set of people. Very corrupt. Any man where they follow their system, so this is now the corrupt nature where they don't corrupt some of our brothers anyway. They don't carry that their mentality them. Very corrupt set of people. And they can't talk say, oh, they are doing this, they are doing that, they are doing that. Eh? They will be saying that President Chris Ano has said that he will not go to that discussion. He made that clear. He passed a message that he was not in Canada. But there are some people who still put. Let me talk to one of our other brothers.
The conspirator, Uchiba Nelson, aka Ngabulov, aka Ground Zero speaks, and you can name the other alliances that he likes to use. I just listened to an audio where he is insisting that Comrade Chris has sent his VP to Canada. That is lying, that is not in Canada. He has sent his VP to Canada. And first of all, I really don't know if anyone still listens to that guy and takes him seriously, because his lies have just, they are more than we can count now.
Wait, Secretary Chris and President Chris did not go to Canada. The VP did not go to Canada. He made it clear, all the members of the interim government made its stance very clear, even long before that conference started, that our people are not going to Canada. We don't support the Canada because the way the La Republique did it was so trickish. Everybody suspected it. You cannot leave a major dialogue, major negotiation process that is ongoing. The Swiss government is there with their support. Canada was also supporting it. All the United Nations, they know about it. Then you just say you're no more going to Switzerland discussion. You send some few people to Canada and say let's go to Canada conference. Then you went and prepared a book, a big book. Those people are very wise. They went and prepared a book and said that there is the book of decentralization.
The number of lies he has put out there, the number of conspiracies. So he don't make some audio. He talks to Secretary Chris if he go out for Canada, and it is just sad. It's very sad to see these guys. These Sako people are just so desperate to link this interim government with the Canada charade. You must remember that. You remember when Secretary Chris during the weekend where he was conducting the funeral service for his late wife.
Yes, right.
And these people were out there with conspiracies that though he was there, at the funeral ceremony that he had a Zoom. No, that he had a. Yeah, he attended the meeting in Canada by Zoom. You remember that? That's the conspiracy they had at that time. So probably that did not work. And so they have now come back with another one that, no, he actually did not go, but that he has sent his vice president to go and attend. And it is so pitiful to see grown-ups, people who are supposed to be enlightened, behaving like kids. If the VP was in Canada, would someone not be able to tell that he was there?
Good.
Is this something that is Uchiba Nelson who will come and tell people that the VP of this, and if this interim government wanted to attend the so-called discussions in Canada, why would they need to hide it?
Look at this newspaper.
This interim government has come.
That's the newspaper. The newspaper said it. The president of Southern Cameroon, Ambazonian,
are not based on any firm foundation that can give us the results we want, and that we are not taking part. And for someone to desperately continue to try to insinuate that we're taking part is just a show of outright desperation.
It's desperation.
I don't know what they're trying to achieve.
Of course, that's.
But
hold on. Look at this newspaper. This newspaper came out just today. This newspaper is today. Snippets from Canada. That's what they said. Look at the red line there. Look, they said the Ambazonian president, refused to go to Canada. That's it there. Well, let me open it. That's it. He said it's one of second Fumban. That is President Chris Arnold saying that Canada charade is a second Fumban. That's it. That's the newspaper there. So even so, many people can say what they want. They can say what they like, but it cannot hold water. That is the president saying that there, and you heard the audio that even the Restoration Council sent their own letters to the Canadian government. The interim government sent their own letter. Everybody has sent their letters long ago to the government of Canada and the government of Cameroon that they will not take part in that charade. So those people who attended, they did not know the manipulation that Litumbe was doing, but we knew already because of the timing. The timing was so prompt. Right?
The Sako people, first of all, have to tell us. They stated earlier that Comrade Chris attended by Zoom. And they are now saying that no, he did not attend, but he sent his VP. Which one is true?
Which one is true?
Were they lying the first time, or are they lying now? They have to first of all tell us which of these lies to believe.
I don't spend my time.
Should we believe the first lie, or should we believe the last one? They're just recounting now that he sent the VP. I think these guys really have to focus on, if they say they are fighting to liberate our homeland, they should focus on things that actually add value to the cause of our liberation. Instead of spending their time concocting conspiracy after conspiracy, bringing out false allegations against other comrades. I don't know what they benefit from it. And they say they are fighting to liberate homeland.
Man,
this is so pathetic, I tell you.
My brother, thank you, bro. Thank you, man. It's pathetic, as you said, but the fight we are fighting is fight for justice. We are not fighting because of any individual. Okay, this is the newspaper saying it. That is it saying it there. Okay, snippets from Canada. That's it. The Ambazonian president. One of another Fumban. That's what he said. That's what President Chris Arnold said. There's a newspaper that carried it today. So whatever people are saying that President Chris was in Canada or he sent somebody to Canada, it's all fake and lies because nobody was there that represented us. Okay? People who went there, they went for their own businesses. There's no one on the behalf of the interim government or on the behalf of Southern Cameroonians. No. Ambazonians know what they want. Yeah, we know what we want. Okay? Yes. That's it. The presidential election in Brazil just took place, and it was very free and fair election. That's what we're talking about. Democracy is working like that. Okay, you cannot have a democratic nation, but you don't want to have elections. You don't want to have transitions. You don't want to have. The world is moving like that, and that's why the international community is watching at countries. If you have election, Biya himself has already sent appreciation and everything to this guy in Brazil. President Biden already sent his own, So these are congratulations that are coming from different presidents all over the world. That's it. So take a sneak peek of what happened there.
Brazil's new president, Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, also known as Lula, was met with cheers from his supporters in his stunning defeat of incumbent Jair Bolsonaro.
E que hoje tem único e grande vencedor.
That's the new president. That's the new president who just won the election in Brazil. That's democracy.
Eu fui no 13. Eu achei assim, tá na hora de mudança.
And against.
As pessoas não querem enxergar a verdade. O Brasil foi muito roubado. A gente agora só tá na mão de Deus.
But Bolsonaro himself has been silent. It's not clear yet when or if he'll concede, despite official verification of the election results.
That's the outgoing president.
Court. Da Silva's victory is a comeback tale, more than a decade after he last served as president.
This is a winner.
Twice.
This is a winner of the election.
He's known for his role in building the country's social welfare program, as much as he's known for his scandals. He was convicted on corruption and money laundering charges in 2017, spending 19 months in prison before his conviction was overruled.
That's him, Lula da Silva. Lula da Silva.
Into power instead. Over the last 4 years, Bolsonaro's leadership was guided by traditional conservative and Christian values. Dubbed the tropical Trump, he rebuffed culture war and, quote, political correctness, and received the former U.S. president's endorsement.
Don't lose him. Don't let that happen. It would not be good for your country.
In contrast, da Silva ran his campaign promising progressive ideals, like cracking down on illegal deforestation and making Brazil's indigenous people a priority.
Election victory represents, I would argue, the greatest political comeback maybe in world politics since perhaps Nelson Mandela. So it's a repudiation of Bolsonaro, but it's also a remarkable victory for Lula, who a few years ago was at his lowest point in his career.
President Biden, swift to offer his congratulations. A pointed statement from the White House calls da Silva's victory the result of, quote, free, fair, and credible elections, an attempt to add further legitimacy to results already being called into question by Bolsonaro's supporters. Yet another symptom of what has been a contentious election cycle in Brazil, brimming with misinformation. Bolsonaro has been sowing seeds of doubt throughout his campaign.
When he was in England for the funeral of Queen Elizabeth, where he was talking about the upcoming election in Brazil, and once again suggesting that it would be fixed against him.
The election, decided by a margin of roughly 2 million votes, tighter than expected, making this the closest election in Brazil's history as a reinstated democracy since 1985. All eyes are on Bolsonaro's next move after becoming the country's first ever sitting president who wasn't immediately reelected.
And Marissa Parra joins us now here on set. Marissa, thank you so much for joining Top Story. So Bolsonaro still has not made any public statements, but you have some breaking developments on that front?
Yeah, we're just getting this into the newsroom, Gabe, here. We're understanding that according to the communication minister, that is for the government of Brazil, he says Bolsonaro is expected to address the nation on Tuesday. And we've been talking about how deafening the silence has been, Gabe. His Twitter, which he is very active on, has not been used since the election results came out. The presidential palace has been quiet. So this is significant news to even hear that he's potentially preparing to address the nation.
So that is the election that took place there. So, that's how democracy is working, And some people don't like democracy, but in any democratic society, the majority will always carry. You see how close the election was. That's how election is close, even in many countries. Like, the country must still come together and respect the people that win the election. That's how it is. You cannot be enemies after elections. After election, everything should come back to normal. Okay? You saw 50 and 49. Means that they say 2 million votes is what separates the winner and the loser. So you can imagine how close or how divided the country is into two. That's how election is. But our people are still not used to this. They become enemies. They don't talk to people. They move you from forums. They block your number. They do other things. Why do you do all that? It's politics. It's election. If you lose, you lose. You win, you win. Okay? In America, I've seen election up front. We voted. You want your candidate to win, and the candidate loses. When the day that I had my shock in America election is when Hillary Clinton lost. I was a supporter of Hillary Clinton. But when she lost the election, my day was spoiled. But that's election. Okay? That's election. Sometimes you just accept. You accept the reality. The majority wins anything. That's how it is. You can't change that. Okay? So thank you very much. Thank you for watching, and I'll leave you with this.
Is it a pride to be a teacher?
Oh yes, more than a pride, it is a passion to be a teacher. All that we need is better treatment. It is with love we build a nation. All that we need is better treatment. Ooh. A teacher is a nation builder who spends sleepless nights preparing his lesson. Transformation of education begins with the teacher. He does everything to meet up with changing times. They build doctors, pilots, engineers, and all great people. Oh no, with meager salary. We plead on the parents to stop negative intervention. Instead, assist them do their work. It is with love. It is with love. It is with love. We build a nation. All that we need is better treatment. It is with love. It is with love. Yeah. We build a nation. All that we need is better treatment.
I'm shedding my tears for a teacher.
I'm giving you knowledge, you slap me. I'm building your future, you kill me. Oh no, respect the teacher.
I'm shedding my tears as a teacher.
I'm giving you knowledge, you slap me. I'm building your future, you kill me. Oh why? Respect the teacher.
Teacher, we tapsila.
Teacher, we want you. Teacher, we tapsila. Teacher, we lonely. Teacher, we tapsila. Teacher, we want you. Teacher, we tapsila. Teacher, we lonely. Teacher, we tapsila. Teacher, we want you. Teacher, we tapsila. Teacher, we lonely.
Wow. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Jesus,
thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Please, if you're watching through Facebook, please hit your share button. If you're watching through YouTube, please hit the subscribe button for new videos coming up. All right. Thank you all for being there. Please, if you have any issues, write through the comment so that I know what you want to improve. Okay, all those people watching on please write to the comment so that what you want me to improve for the show, what you want me to do, you know. I'll plan to start bringing people live, like you know, but now I want to be doing my show by myself. Then I bring people, you know. So, but for now, I'll be doing the show like that. You know, I want to talk. I have a lot to talk about. So maybe later I'll start bringing up people like live, 2 of us or 3 of us on the show that we can talk. But for now, so just leave a comment on the comment if you what you want me to do. Then I'm gonna do any improvement you want for the for the show, or what you want me to talk about. You have some issues that you want me to talk about, good and fine, okay? Yeah, thank you very much for watching. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. 2, 3, 4. Okay. God bless you all and stay strong. The struggle is real. Don't give up. Don't give up. Because we are not giving up. So don't give up the fight. The struggle is real. We are fighting. Let nobody fool you. Yes, we are there, strong. Okay, until our land is free, until our land is liberated. Okay, we will not give up. I serve a living God. We serve a living God. So don't worry about. We know all what La Republic is doing, but don't worry about that. We have department of fasting and prayer. We have department of prayer warriors. So we have the Bui warriors and the AI warriors fighting there, but we have also prayer warriors fighting. So don't worry about that. The prayer warriors will take care of those witchcraft people there. Yes. We have department of prayer, department of fire. Fire for fire. Yes. We serve a living God. So don't worry about that. So we'll take care of them. Then we have, then for the diplomats, we'll take care of them too. So don't worry. Those who are going to Canada and try, don't worry about them. Yes. Thank you guys and have a nice day and God bless you all. Thank you guys, thank you. Thank you, and God bless you all, man.